Hey guys, this is Doug with fellowshipofthemartyrs.com coming to you from the office here in Liberty, Missouri. Wanted to introduce you to James. And I'm trying to get out of his shadow here, so get better lighting. James didn't really want to prepare anything, so we're just going to interview him a little bit and talk a little bit. So, where are you from?
I'm from New York City, Queens.
From
New
Queens.
York. Yeah.
Okay. And how'd you get here?
I took a Greyhound to, my first attempt was to bike ride all the way here, and then I made it a little to West New Jersey, and then I realized it's too far. So I rode back home. I took a Greyhound, and from Kansas City, I bike rode from Kansas City here to Liberty City.
Okay. Which is about probably 15 miles or something like that.
Yeah,
from the bus station. How long you been here now?
7 days, maybe 8.
Okay. And what's the time been like for you? What do you think you've enjoyed the most?
I've enjoyed helping others. That's one of the funnest parts for me. Also, the people here, I love them and they love me. Since I've been here, I've accumulated 4 nicknames that everybody calls me at different times. They call me a different nickname. They constantly reminding me that they love me, and that has been my time here so far.
One of the nicknames is Trace, because you're the third James.
Yeah, I'm the third James, and Tres is Spanish for 3, so they call me Trace.
Yeah. Okay. And so what do you think you're learning about your relationship with Jesus in this time?
I'm learning that Satan is real, and he attacks us. He is what brings doubt in our lives. But my relationship with Jesus is when I keep my eyes on him and the things he did and the way he acted, I realize that that's really the way I want to be. Selfless, giving freely, my services, not to be too selfish, not to be too much about myself. But to be for others. And it's a struggle because I come from a life where it was, in my opinion, all about me. And I'm transitioning into a life where it's not only about me, it's also about others. And here, at any time, at any given time, if I want to learn about this passage or that passage, there are many people here knowledgeable about the Bible and about the Old Testament, the New Testament, the disciples, the apostles, and at any time I could ask anybody here about things, or if I'm going through trouble, I've had a few times where I've had bad thoughts, and it was broken down for me why it happens, and the nature of the enemy, and the nature of our Creator.
How did you come to know Jesus?
I came to know Jesus at a rough time in my life, where I was smoking a lot of marijuana and drinking a lot, and I somehow was thinking about life and saying to myself, I want to go home. This doesn't feel like my home. There's wars going on here, and all this strife in this world, and the landfills are getting bigger, and the resources are getting depleted. And, I would run away from my problems through drugs. And I saw in my mind very clearly, when you think about things, I saw a cross. And it was very, very clear. It was the most clearest thought. And I gave thought to it, and it took a lot of time, just through accumulations, through hearing people talk about Jesus and how it changed their life, and just pieces here and there throughout my time. And I said, you know what, let me give it a try. Let me see what this is about. And that's what led me here.
Cool. We've talked a little bit about maybe what God has for you in the future, but I don't think either of us have any answers on that, except to just go day by day and see what God does. this morning you went with me on the food run. Today's Sunday, so we just had a little mini run. We just pick up at the one store and then take it to 2 or 3 different congregations and drop stuff off. And we mentioned that when you first found us online, you saw some of the negative videos about FOTM and stuff like that. If how would you respond to people that seen some of that stuff, and what would you say to them as far as what your experience here is versus what some of those things online say?
Well, the few negative videos I saw, there's really no reason to be negative about a place. I mean, what we're doing here, and what I have done, and what Doug's been doing long before I got here, is we get food from different supermarkets that normally they'll throw away, and we collect it in a food pantry. And anybody who's hungry, anybody who's afflicted, or anything could come get something to eat. And I've been here for a few days. Doug, I don't know all the things they said. The only video I said was that Doug is this, and that. I didn't want to even see the whole video. But it's not... I heard one person say it was like a cult, and I believe a cult has a leader where the leader tells you what to do, or there's an initiation that you have to go through. But here it's not like that. Here, if you live here, you put in the work that you want to put in. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, you have to wake up at this time, you have to do this and that. Nobody's going to... It's not like that at all. There's no rules, really. There's no sign of rules. When we get here, Doug doesn't tell us any rules. And that's one of the negative things that... So if you consider giving food to the poor negative, if you consider giving clothes to the poor negative, if you consider housing those who need housing negative, then yeah, it's very negative. But I don't think those things are negative. We also give hugs to whoever needs a hug, free hugs. Prayer, we're always willing to pray with anybody who wants to come here and pray. And to the people who wrote those negative things, I just would like to say, maybe, hopefully you would change your mind, or maybe come here and see what it really is all about. And we've had people who have come here and leave, and for whatever reason, and then come back later to realize, it really wasn't that bad there.
Mm-hmm. And even in the time that you've been here, you got to see somebody sort of get mad about a situation and take off, and really kind of see how easy it is for the enemy to get in between relationships and turn people against each other. Is there some piece of wisdom, if you had one thing you could tell everybody that's watching, in not just in your time here, but in your experience with Jesus, if you had a minute or two with somebody on the street, what would you tell them that you think is the most important thing that they need to know?
I would say that the enemy is real, and he puts doubt in our head, and he put doubt in our thoughts, all bad thoughts, I believe. Malicious thoughts, envious thoughts. We all know the sins, the 7 deadly sins. The enemy is real, and the enemy doesn't like the creator of all good things. And we are a creation of the creator of all good things, so naturally he doesn't like us either. And it's written that we're created in his image, so he doesn't like us either. And it's evident in this world where the enemy is. Jesus said, a tree is judged by its fruits. So I don't want to name names or point fingers, but the enemy is real, and the enemy, one of the enemy's best tools, he probably has even better tools, but one of them is doubt. And it's important that we have faith. He tells us to have faith as a child, because a child, they believe stronger than adults. As we become adults, we become less soft, and we become more hardened. We're called to have faith as children, and when you have the faith of a child, you believe. He said to the disciples, "Blessed are you guys, because you guys saw me." Jesus said to the disciples, "You guys saw me." But even more blessed are those who have not seen me and believe me. And with enough time, with enough faith, with enough strength, despite all the attacks on God, our Creator, all the attacks on, all the distractions also amidst, if you spend enough time in that faith and enough time praying, even if you don't know who God is, just say, "God, I don't even know who you are, but I'm here, and enough people have seen you, and they say you're real, and I'm going to give this a shot." And if you do that a long time enough, He will come back to you 7 times stronger. He will, and it's a test. It's a test. If you could resist sexual temptation, if you could resist violence, if you could resist hate, if you could resist envy, and take those clothes off, take it off, and put on the clothes of love, the clothes of faith, the clothes of sharing, the clothes of selflessness, the clothing of patience, of compassion, and in due time, you'll see what we've all come to see.
Amen. Amen. Well, anything else you want to say?
Just want to say that on my way over here, should I tell them the box story?
Sure, yeah.
On my way over here, I took a Greyhound from New York to here, and in New York, they let me put my bike in the storage, and it wasn't a problem. And we made it to New Jersey, and it wasn't a problem there. We made it to Philadelphia, and we switched buses, so I had to take my bike out of the storage and put it in the new bus. They didn't have a problem with it there. We get to Ohio, and they say, "Oh, you need to put that bike in a box." I said, "Okay, where's the box?" And they said, "Oh, it's going to cost $20. $20 for a box with a picture of a Greyhound on it." I said, "Well, what if I don't have $20? Nobody told me I needed a box. When I bought the ticket from the ticket lady, she saw me with my bike. She didn't tell me I needed $20. She said, 'Well, you're going to have to leave it here.'" And I said, "Well, but they didn't tell me." They said, "Oh, too bad. They didn't tell you. They lied to you. It's too bad." So I said, "Well, could I use any box? Any box? Could I go to a supermarket and get a box from them and stuff my bike in there and maybe use that?" And I was told, "Yeah, go do what you gotta do." And they gave me their smile, like, "Where's he gonna get a box from?" Because I only had about 40 minutes until the bus left. And long story short, I'm praying to God for a box because the bus stops in Kansas City, and I have to bike ride all the way to Liberty City. And I didn't want to call Doug. I wanted to be on my own initiative to get here. I didn't want to burden anybody. So I'm praying to God, please, I need a box, and He knew my situation, and I knew He knew my situation, and somehow I knew I was going to find a box. I don't know. And I had the faith, and so I'm walking to McDonald's because I'm hungry. I only have $2. So I bought a double cheeseburger and 2 apple pies. And I'm on my way there, and it's about 8 city blocks. It's in the middle of Ohio, a bunch of corporate buildings, and I need this box. I go into one school, a college, and I ask for a box. "Hey guys, do you have a box by any chance laying around?" "No, we don't have a box, sorry." So I go to another building. I said, "Hey, do you guys have a box by any chance?" "No, we don't have a box." And by now I have about 10-15 minutes till the bus starts heading west again. So I'm walking back to the bus station. I pass by a dumpster filled with boxes, but they're all little boxes. And something tells me to check inside the dumpster. So I climb and I look inside, and sure enough, there was a big refrigerator box right there. Just a big refrigerator. And I'm so happy. I'm walking with this box back to the bus stop. And I believe that was God right there, helping me out to get here. And Some might say, "Oh, it's just a coincidence. That's just lucky." And we could say that it's just lucky too. I believe it's God, but we could say, for the sake of argument, it was just luck. But I got here, and my time here has been a beautiful time. I've met beautiful people. I've learned beautiful things, and we feed the poor and we clothe the poor, and whoever wants to come and be a part of that effort, you're welcome to come here. And that's all I have.
Yeah, as the Lord leads, I try to just throw our arms open and leave it to the Lord. If He wants them to get here, He'll let them get here, and if He wants to block it, He'll block it. And I've seen people that, it wasn't His idea; they just wanted to, but the timing was wrong, and something goes wrong, and He'll stop them, And when the time's right, He makes a way. So I think, we're sure glad to have you, and look forward to seeing what the Lord does with you.
Thank you.
In the future. So maybe we'll get more chances to talk to James in the future. But one of the bright, shiny lights that the Lord is sending here to be a part of what God's doing here. I'm hoping to get a lot more of them interviewed so you can hear more of their stories. And anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. There's more at libertydisasterrelief.com and fellowshipofthemartyrs.com.